guys, so today we're going to learn about something called annotation. And we'll get to what that word means a little bit, but first I want to talk about conversations. When you're having a conversation with someone and you have a question for them, or you agree or you disagree, do you just sit there and listen, or do you say that you have a comment?
You raise your hand?
Yeah, you can raise your hand, or you can wait and then say your comment. If you have a question, do you just think about your question, or do you say your question? You say your question, right. So when we're reading, if I'm reading and I want to get everything I can out of what I'm reading, and I have a comment, or I have a question, or I agree or disagree, should I just think about it, or maybe I could write it down? And that's what annotation is. And it's like having a conversation with the author. So I brought something for us to read today. Well, actually, first I'm going to talk about what these different sticky notes mean. So if I have a question, I can use a blue sticky note. What are other comments, or what are other reasons we would annotate? We have maybe if we want to answer a question, if we have a comment, or what are other times you might want to add to what you're reading? So if we have a comment, we'll do this. If we agree, if we agree or disagree, we'll do green. And then there's one other reason that we would annotate. Sometimes, this is just like a conversation. Sometimes when my friends are talking, I have a connection. I'm thinking, oh, this reminds me of something else. So then I want to add that in. When I'm reading, when you guys are reading, do you ever have to make connections in your head and think, does it ever remind you of something else?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that would be a great thing to annotate. And when we're reading and we have a connection, we'll use a pink sticky note. So let's talk again about what annotating means. Annotating is when you're reading and you think of something that you want to add, or it makes you think of something that you have a question about, or a comment, or you agree or disagree. That's when you're going to grab your sticky note and annotate it.
Like you're playing?
Yeah. Yep. You write on the sticky note you're thinking. And why might this be helpful for us later? If I'm looking back and I see the sticky notes, why might that be helpful for us later for our thinking? When I look back at my book and I see the questions I asked, or I see the comments, do you think it could help us remember what we read?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and remember the directions of the story, or look at the book deeper. So I brought something for us to read today. This is a nonfiction piece about the earth, and while we're reading, we're going to annotate it. Okay. I'll read the first paragraph, and if you think of something that you have a question for, a comment, or microscopic amoebas, I'm not really sure what that word is. I have a question. What is that word? So I'm going to take my blue sticky note, and I'm going to write,
Sorry, Missy, because they were still playing in gym.
what is amoebas? So go ahead and write down your annotation. We're asking a question. What is amoebas? Agree or disagree or connection. Raise your hand and we can annotate that. When I read a hard text, I'm not hating because I'm annotating. Agree or disagree. I want to see what I'm thinking when I'm reading, so I'm annotating connections and questions. I'll be annotated. No need to hate when you're reading a hard text. All you gotta do is annotate.